Well, hello, it's Roger Roadside here. Listen, this is a video that's it's a tough topic to talk about. It's one where there's a lot of controversy. There's one where if you talk about things in certain ways, you get into a lot of trouble these days in this country. But I just wanted to pose the question: do you think your daughters are safe in the UK? If you've got a daughter and you live in the UK, regardless of their age, whether the daughter's a couple of years, whether the daughter's 46, who knows? Do you think they're safe in the UK? There's been two reports that have come out today. One horrendous incident involving two teenage boys from a certain country who, this is obviously a sensitive topic, but they basically were charged with and have been sent to prison for the rape of a small girl, a young girl, I should say. 10 years. They got in jail, just 10 years. They'll probably only have to spend about 4 years in there. I think that in itself is horrendous. I think she'll have to live with that experience for her whole life. And, they'll get 4 years, we know what the prison system's like over here. We know it's overcrowded, but we also know that it's for all intents and purposes, it's for 4 years shouldn't be too hard a stint to do. Those two demons will be well looked after in there. There's a very good community in there for those types of demons, and I think 4 years will fly past for them. I just think it's an absolute shame, and it's horrendous. And breaking news, as of about 10 minutes ago, there's been another report of a person from the same country seeking asylum here of another rape, sexual abuse charge. And it's just, I've said this before in a previous interview. I've got a small son. He's 9 months old. There's a lot of things that I'm concerned about for him as he, grows up. There's not a lot that makes me want to stay in this country, other than the fact that, my partner couldn't live without her family. So, if it was down to me, I would 100% leave. Just until things get sorted out. And anyway, but that's just me. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think, we keep getting told that everything's fine. If you mention anything, you must be a racist. Or if you mention anything, you must be extremely right-wing. Nothing happens. It's only a very small percentage. And, people of different cultures and different colors, they do the same crimes and this, that, and the other. But it just seems like every day is an exaggeration, right? I get that. But it seems very regular that the example happens whereby people have come over here, people have either come over here illegally or even, gone through the right immigration processes. It's not to say that those processes are great or top notch, but they've filled in a form and they've paid some money, and some people have come over here correctly. But there seems to be quite a common occurring theme that happens between people of various cultural backgrounds that we know factually have different views on women, have different views on females, and have different views on girls. And they see them as a secondary class, and they see them as a sex object, and they see them as someone that they have total dominance over. And the sheer fact that, you know, the one with the two teenage boys who recently got sent to prison, the fact that they were only teenagers, you know, these aren't just men that have had years and years and years of growing up in that culture. These were only teenagers that took advantage of that girl and abused her. You know, that in itself is quite scary. And there's a lot of times where I just feel like here in the UK, we're being forced to have to just sleep through this or walk through this with our eyes closed. So I'd be interested to hear from you. Do you think that there is a problem? Do you have a daughter? Do you have any daughters? Do you think your daughter or your daughters are safe within this country? I'd love to hear any sort of responses in regards to that. Make sure you get your comments down below, guys. I would love to do this in a live format where we can have a chat and we can have a bit of a chin wag and, you know, have a bit of a laugh as well as talk about some sensitive stuff. I'd really love to create a community where we can all talk together and you know, keep ourselves company. You know, I live and work on the road, so yeah, I would love to get to that stage. I need 50 subscribers essentially, so I've got about 6 at the moment, so thank you very much for those who have subscribed. But if you wouldn't mind taking the 0.7 of a second, 0.7 seconds to hit the subscribe button, that would be lovely. I'd appreciate that. And hopefully we can build something where, you know, we can just keep each other company. Oh, you know, once I've got 50 subscribers, bro, I'm going to be live all the bloody time, mate. And, you know, you guys can just like drop in and say g'day, and I'll say g'day, mate, how you going? And you'll say, yeah, g'day, cobber, and I'll say, all right, bro, all right. And then, you know, we'll probably have more intellectual conversations than that, but, you know, it'd just be nice to have a chat. And yeah, anyway, get your thoughts below. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. Appreciate you. Roger Roadside signing off.